Japan is a maritime nation in the most literal sense of the term. Its economic survival, energy security, and strategic autonomy depend on the uninterrupted flow of shipping through narrow sea lanes, congested ports, and vulnerable coastal approaches. In such an environment, naval power is not defined only by aircraft carriers, destroyers, or advanced fighter jets. It is equally shaped by less visible capabilities that ensure those high-profile assets can operate safely. Among these, mine countermeasure forces occupy a uniquely important but often overlooked position. The commissioning of JS Nōmi in 2025 offers a clear window into how Japan understands this reality and how it prepares for the most silent yet persistent threats at sea. JS Nōmi belongs to the Awaji-class of modern mine countermeasure vessels, a program designed to replace older ships that had reached the limits of their service life. Unlike combatants built to project force, these vessels are intended to preserve freedom of movement in contested maritime spaces. Their mission is fundamentally defensive, but its strategic consequences are profound. A single modern naval mine, deployed quietly and at low cost, can deny access to an entire harbor or choke point. For a country whose lifelines run across the sea, this is a risk that cannot be tolerated. What distinguishes JS Nōmi from earlier generations of Japanese minesweepers is not scale or firepower, but a careful integration of materials, sensors, and operating concepts. The vessel reflects a design philosophy that prioritizes safety, precision, and endurance. Built with a hull made from fiber-reinforced plastic, it significantly reduces magnetic signatures, which is critical when operating in environments saturated with magnetic and influence mines. This choice also improves durability and corrosion resistance, allowing the ship to remain operational for decades with lower life cycle maintenance demands. In many ways, the hull itself represents Japan's broader approach to defense technology, quiet innovation rather than dramatic spectacle. Technologically, JS Nōmi functions as a mobile platform for undersea awareness. Its sonar systems are optimized to detect, classify, and track objects resting on or buried beneath the seabed. This task is increasingly complex as modern mines become smaller, more adaptive, and harder to distinguish from natural clutter. To address this challenge, the ship relies not only on onboard sensors, but also on unmanned underwater vehicles and remotely operated systems. These tools extend the ship's reach while keeping human operators at a safe distance, reflecting a strong emphasis on crew protection and operational discipline. The use of unmanned systems marks a significant evolution in Japan's mine warfare doctrine. Rather than relying on direct mechanical sweeping alone, the Awaji-class focuses on identification and selective neutralization. This approach minimizes collateral damage to the seabed and surrounding infrastructure, an important consideration in crowded coastal waters. It also aligns with Japan's legal and political framework, which places a premium on controlled, proportionate defensive action and strict rules of engagement. A typical operational cycle for JS Nōmi illustrates how this philosophy is translated into practice. The vessel enters a designated area with a carefully planned search pattern, deploying sonar arrays to map the seabed in fine detail. Suspected objects are then examined using unmanned vehicles capable of close inspection. Only once a threat is positively identified does the crew proceed with neutralization, often using specialized disposal systems designed to eliminate mines without triggering sympathetic detonations. Throughout this process, coordination and precision matter far more than speed or aggression. This operational mindset reflects the broader culture of the Japan Maritime Self-Defense Force. Training emphasizes procedure, risk management, and collective responsibility. Crews are taught to treat mine countermeasure operations as a form of maritime safety engineering rather than combat in the traditional sense. yet the strategic impact of their work is unmistakable. Without vessels like JS Nōmi, the movement of destroyers, submarines, logistic ships, and even civilian traffic would be severely constrained in a crisis. From a strategic perspective, the importance of the Awaji-class becomes even clearer when viewed against regional security trends. Naval mines are increasingly attractive to both state and non-state actors because they are relatively inexpensive, difficult to attribute, and hard to counter once deployed. In a high-intensity conflict, they can delay or disrupt naval operations at critical moments. In lower intensity or gray zone scenarios, they can be used to apply pressure without overt escalation, targeting commerce and confidence rather than military units directly. Japan's investment in modern mine countermeasure vessels is therefore not merely a technical decision, but a strategic hedge against ambiguity and uncertainty. By maintaining the ability to detect and neutralize mines quickly, Japan reduces the effectiveness of one of the most asymmetric tools available in maritime competition. This capability complicates any attempt to use the maritime domain for coercion, while remaining firmly within a defensive posture that emphasizes stability and deterrence rather than provocation. Importantly, this capability also strengthens Japan's role as a reliable security partner. In multinational exercises and potential coalition operations, mine countermeasure forces are often among the first assets required. Clearing access routes and securing ports is a prerequisite for any sustained maritime effort. By maintaining a technologically advanced and professional MCM fleet, Japan contributes to regional stability in a manner consistent with its constitutional framework and international commitments. Looking toward the 2030 to 2035 timeframe, the relevance of ships like JS Nōmi is likely to increase rather than diminish. Advances in mine technology, including smarter sensors, multi-influence triggering mechanisms, and network deployment concepts, will continue to challenge navies worldwide. At the same time, the density of maritime traffic around Japan shows no sign of decreasing, raising the stakes for even limited disruptions. The Awaji-class offers a foundation that can adapt to these future demands. Its modular architecture allows for upgrades in sonar processing, unmanned vehicles, and data integration as technology evolves. Its hull design supports a long service life, making it a stable platform for incremental modernization rather than frequent replacement. This long-term perspective is characteristic of Japan's approach to defense planning, which favors continuity and resilience over short-term solutions. JS Nōmi does not symbolize power in the conventional sense. It carries no long-range missiles and is unlikely to appear in dramatic headlines. Yet its significance lies precisely in this restraint. By ensuring that sea lanes remain open and harbors accessible, it enables every other element of maritime power to function effectively. In a strategic environment where disruption can be achieved quietly and cheaply, the ability to counter such threats calmly and methodically is itself a form of strength. Ultimately, JS Nōmi represents a philosophy of security rooted in responsibility rather than confrontation. It demonstrates how Japan seeks to protect its maritime interests through preparedness, technological sophistication, and disciplined operations. In doing so, it reminds observers that the most important naval missions are not always the most visible. Sometimes, the ships that matter most are those that work silently beneath the surface, safeguarding the foundations upon which all other maritime activities depend.